I am back for a quick banger here. This is Walt with I Know Fantasy Football, aka I Know Fantasy Sports. So, as I have posted a YouTube short regarding basketball season starting up pretty soon here in the next few weeks here. I will be talking about fantasy basketball as well, but right now it's not the time because we're still in the football season, and I wanted to go ahead and talk about the Week 6 waiver ads. Now, if you're like me and you have people that you have players that you've been having issues with that are not producing, that are not getting the carries, not getting the passes thrown to them because either A, they're injured, or B, they have a terrible quarterback throwing to them. Well, this is the place that you need to look into in regards to picking up some of these players off the waiver wire because these players are starting to have an uptick in their productivity, like Tank Bigsby, Joshua Downs. These two players, you're starting to see more activity with these two players. However, we want to talk about the players that are on the fantasy waiver wire that you may need to add to your roster and get rid of one of those bums. For example, I got rid of Najee Harris. He's been terrible. He hasn't had a touchdown. He's averaging like 3 yards per carry. So I just went ahead and dropped him. And I picked up, what's his name? Uh, I'm drawing a blank here. But, anyways, I picked up another player, Ray McLeod. There we go. I'm only human. I'm tired. Wife, 2 kids, long day at work. So it is what it is. But without further ado, I did want to talk about the waiver 6 wire ads. And so let's dig into it. But before we do, I just want to thank you for watching me. And at the end, I want to talk a little bit more in regards to some things that have been happening currently that I wanted to just drop down in regards to, just being a human being and trying to be transparent and communicate. But let's dive into it. We come from sports news in regards to fantasy football's Week 6 ads. Some of you guys have players on buys, and I get that because I do as well. So these may be players that you want to plug in for a week, or you just want to have them sit on your bench because they might have a continuous and blowing up. And it all depends because we play the game of sports, and in the game of football, it's all about who's going to produce, continue producing, and who's going to get hurt. As you well know, that does happen quite a bit. As you can see this year, it has been happening a lot. So it says here that we have Tank Bigsby, Josh Downs, and Darnell Mooney as the top 3 players. And excuse me, my phone is trying to listen to me over here. You know how technology is. But anyways, these 3 guys are some of the top waiver wire ads, which I can completely understand. Darnell Mooney, Kirk Cousins is looking great. I went against one of my buddies last week, and Kirk Cousins pretty much almost beat me. Um, Tank Bigsby, the guy is looking fresh. As you can tell with Travis Etienne, he's just not the running back that he was several years ago. And Tank Bigsby, excuse me, has that steam going for him. So look to see the Jacksonville Jaguars give him some more action and some more play. Josh Downs. The only thing that I can say about him is he's an excellent player. However, if Anthony Richardson is the quarterback, not Joe Flacco, Anthony Richardson, that is going to be a fringe player to start. Because as we can tell, Joe Flacco is he's a passing quarterback, but he has some experience. So keep that in mind that if you pick up Joshua Downs and Anthony Richardson is the starting quarterback, you may not want to put him in your lineup. But it's all about matchups as well. So let's dive down here. We're just going to go really quick. And like I said, Tank Bigsby, he's 22% rostered. So he's out there. Pick him up. Josh Downs is 40% rostered. Darnell Mooney is 47% rostered. Now, I cannot guarantee that these players are available now since it's Wednesday and the waiver wires hit. However, if they're still out there, go and pick them up. Kirk Cousins, after that 505-yard passing, 505 yards passing with 4 or 5 touchdowns against the terrible defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you might want to add him because he's looking better and better every week. And that's something that we want. We want a quarterback, especially a quarterback, that is starting to incline instead of decline. Drake May, I wouldn't pick him up. I mean, I just can't trust any Patriots receiver, nor can I trust the tight end or the quarterback right now. The only thing good for the Patriots is Ramondre Stevenson at this time. Now, maybe one or two games, we'll see how Drake does. Then we can start adding like a Demario Douglas and even try to put Hunter Henry into the lineup. Trey Sermon, 52% rostered. We know Jonathan Taylor is injured. We don't know when he'll be back, but if he's back, you got to be careful with Jonathan Taylor. I have him on one of my teams, and if you know the history of Jonathan Taylor, he's had issues with ankle sprains and everything else when it comes to the season. Heck of a running back, but when you have issues with your ankles, it can be very quick for you to tear that ankle up again and roll that ankle, high ankle sprain, low ankle sprain, whatever it is. Ty Chandler, definitely go pick up Ty Chandler. He's rostered in 28% of the roster right now. Pick him up because Aaron Jones is definitely going to miss some time, and we don't know how much time he's going to miss. And as you can tell with Aaron Jones' workload, he was getting a lot of touches in the game. So that's another player to look up in regards to running backs. If you do not have a good running back, you can try to pick up Ty Chandler and see how he does in this upcoming week. And if he does good, you can try to offload him to another owner to see if you can get somebody that's going to be consistent all year round or for the remainder of the season. Uh, Tyrone Tracy, I don't know where this guy came from. All I know is that the Giants, they put him in because of Singletary being hurt, and he just blew up. I mean, I couldn't tell you where he came from. But anyways, he's 23% rostered. Now with Tyrone, again, it's another player just like Ty Chandler. When Devil Singletary is healthy, if Devin Singletary is healthy, then I don't know how much play Tyrone is going to get. Okay, receivers: Jalen Tolbert, 7% rostered. Brandon Cooks is on IR. Pick him up. Jordan Whittington, he had a pretty massive game last week, which is surprising with the receivers that they have. But he definitely has superseded Demarcus Robinson or whatever the guy's name is that I actually had, and I had to drop him really quick because he got me maybe 5 or 6 points in one game. So, anyways, Darius Slayton, definitely go and pick him up. Malik Neighbors coming back from concussion, it doesn't matter. I think that we're seeing a different Daniel Jones now. Daniel Jones is gaining more confidence, but I wouldn't go and pick Daniel Jones up though, because he's boom or bust. I mean, I understand if he's had a couple of games where he's done well, but do not pick him up. Alec Pierce, again, if you have Joe Flacco that's starting and it's confirmed that he's starting, you can pick Alec Pierce up. However, with Alec Pierce, he's boom or bust. He's the one big play down the field guy to get you a touchdown. He's not getting the ball thrown to him 8, 9, and 10 times in the game. That's between Josh Downs and Michael Pittman. All right, Tyler Conklin. Tyler Conklin is actually the tight end that I didn't have really much confidence in, but he's been doing pretty well these past few games. Here's the problem: Aaron Rodgers may not be 100% going into the game this week, so you might want to keep an eye on that. Jonnu Smith, 5% roster. As picking up a tight end, man, I'm telling you, you put him out there and you see what you get. As you can tell with the last week's game with Kirk Cousins throwing for almost 1,000 yards, anybody, if you're picking somebody up, Kyle Pitts did good. But if you're picking somebody up, you want to see the consistency. And with tight ends this year, it is very, I'm just lost for words for tight ends. Like, I'm thinking next league, I'm going to do where there's no tight ends in the league. You can put a tight end in the flex position, but you don't have to pick a tight end on the roster because it's really been a very abysmal season for tight ends this year. Um, Pick up the Bengals. Bengals are 14% roster. They got a good matchup with the Giants this week. However, the Giants have been playing very well. I mean, they had the Cowboys. They put them to the task. So just keep in mind that if you do get the Bengals, uh, if the Giants blow up this game, let's just say if you get them and they get you some points, good, because the Giants are looking actually better. I wouldn't trust the Houston Texans. I don't care who they're playing. I've had the Houston Texans as a defense before, and I had to drop them. And I actually got lucky because when I dropped them, I picked up the Broncos, and the Broncos got me positive points, whereas the Houston Texans several games got me negative points. So I wouldn't think about doing that. But anyways, I appreciate you hanging tight with me on this video. I wanted to make it quick because it seemed like my videos that are long, I'm not getting any kind of views. So I appreciate you hanging tight with me. But moving forward, I just want to say thank you. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a like, post in the comments section. But there's something that I wanted to talk about in regards to just some things that have been going on. So I reside in Florida, and we were hit by Helene last week, and now we have Milton bearing down on us this week. So I want to definitely pray for all those out there who have been impacted from Helene, and it doesn't matter where you're at. If you've been impacted, I want to pray for you and your family. And also, even though Milton's not coming in my direction, thank God, I want to pray for those that are from Florida. If you're watching this video and you're from Florida and you are in the the belly of the beast here with Milton, I want to pray for you and your family. But also, go ahead and just, if you don't believe in God, I believe in God, and I believe that we should all be praying for each other. But with the storms coming and things taking place with hurricane season or any season, guys, I just want to pray for everyone in regards to that. But I'm signing off here. I appreciate you hanging tight with me. And yes, if you've watched this video, go ahead and like, subscribe, and why don't you go ahead and send it to somebody so they can take a look at it, especially if they watch fantasy football, if they watch football or they play fantasy football, and just send it to them, because I will be talking about fantasy basketball as well when the time frame comes, and if the time allows for myself to do so. Peace.